John, and I plan to be your one-stop shop for action movies, comic book movies, and the occasional horror movie reviews and rankings. And today we've got a very nostalgia-centric video. Halloween's in a couple of weeks, so I figured I'd make this video. I felt like making it. Today we are ranking the 4 Halloweentown movies, 3 of which I watched almost every year up till about a few years ago. I rewatched all of them this week to do this ranking, so let's get into it. Coming in last place at number 4 is the last film, Return to Halloweentown. The elephant in the room with this film is the fact that they had to recast the main character, and you also have the grandmother is pretty absent from the film. She appears a couple of times, but she's mostly absent. And then you have Sophie, the main character's sister, is completely gone in this movie. Then the mother is detached from the main character for most of the movie. And so you don't get that cast dynamic, that cast chemistry that was built up in the previous movies. Plus, the story itself feels a little too epic for what this movie actually is. There's some battle for rule of Halloweentown, and it dives into medieval politics and stuff, and secret societies, and even time travel. It just feels too epic for what this movie actually is. And coming at number 3 is Halloweentown High. This movie is pretty close to coming in second place because I have a lot of nostalgia for it. And I think the third act might be the best out of all 4 of these movies. But what really holds it back just a little bit is it has a lot of that Disney Channel teenage awkward romance stuff in it that the previous 2 movies didn't really have, and so it feels a little out of place in these line of films. And so that's really it. Plus, Sophie, who's one of my favorite characters from the previous movies, she only appears in a couple of scenes. She's pretty absent from the movie. So now moving on to second place, we have the original Halloweentown. This movie does a great job at establishing the world. It has great world building. It develops Halloweentown pretty well. But it has a short runtime. All these movies have a pretty short runtime. And I think it's felt most with this particular movie because they spend a lot of time building the world of Halloweentown and establishing that world, that by the time you actually get into the plot of the movie, it feels extremely rushed. And that severely impacts the emotional stakes in the movie in that final act. And so that's really the main reason why it's in second place and not number 1. Coming in first place is Halloweentown 2, Calabar's Revenge. This movie, one thing I like about it is it basically just kicks off right at the beginning at the Cromwell's Halloween party. You get introduced to Cal, you get introduced to his father, and you just learn pretty quick that Cal's kind of a bad guy. Once Marnie and her grandma get to Halloweentown, you just get right into it. And that's one thing I do like about this film, whereas the first film felt rushed. This one, it just feels like you get right into it. You understand what's going on, and you get great sequences because of that. And I think this film does a great job at introducing you to other characters and continues the world building that the first movie did very well. Especially when you get characters like Gort, who is one of my favorite characters in any of these movies. And then I also love the idea of having the Halloween costume party at the high school. And I love the idea of humans turning into the monsters, into the creatures they're mocking and the creatures they're dressed as. So overall, when I think of a Halloweentown movie, the first things that come to mind are the gray spell, Gort, the mother turning into that green witch goblin thing in the third act. And so for all those reasons, That's why Calabar's Revenge comes in at first place. Thanks for watching my video. If you've seen all of the Halloweentown movies, if you grew up with them like I did, I'd love to hear your thoughts and your rankings in the comments down below. And if you like this video, if you like me, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button and smash that subscribe button if you want a one-stop shop for action movies, comic book movies, and the occasional horror movie reviews and rankings. And since Halloween is on a Saturday, I plan to do a either Halloween themed video like this one or a horror themed video on Saturdays, on the next 2 Saturdays, and maybe some in the middle of the weeks as well. And I will return next time when I see you again.